coming up in the Introspect room.
But my son's a joke. He's a joke.
Is that a joke?
Does your family wait?
Yo, that was good.
Wait, does your family are they more accepting now? Have you convinced them that you're doing the right thing?
Right. So it's here's the thing is you can't really tell them about it. You just have to show them. I hope, you know what I mean? I hope we're sitting down here 5 years from now and you're like, we're back. We got Cab back, man. Just finished up as a 1 hour special. Instead of coming in here with a H&M hoodie on, sweating my balls off.
You know what's crazy? You're going to come back here with your mom.
Are you going to bring her?
I was always proud of my boy.
Yeah.
He done the family right. I don't know if that's how your parents speak, but that's how
real.
That's every black Southern family. I was from Philly. She sounds way different.
Bro, it's already hot in here, bro.
Relax. Yeah, I have that effect on people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Introspect room.
Welcome, everybody.
We're back.
Back again. Back at it.
My name is Jeff Damisse.
And I am Michaelangelo Garland.
And this is the Introspect room. We're back again. How you been, man? You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm cooling right now. How are you?
I'm good. Every time you come to my house, we got good drink.
Bro.
We got good food.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe every time.
What did we eat today?
I mean, what did you eat? You ate some jerk chicken.
Yeah, I was
rice.
eating a lot.
I had the whole cookout ready today.
Listen, I eat good, man. I'm Haitian. I need protein. I need all that good stuff.
I see you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Jeez, I'm trying to get big like you. You know what I'm saying?
You called this a dad bod the other day.
Hey, listen, don't put my business out in the street.
This is a dad.
Dad. I mean, that's the new thing now, right? Dad
it is.
bod.
It's in. They're in. Dad bods are in right now. So I had to get one.
I don't know if I can get away with the dad bod. I'd probably look crazy. You know what's crazy? So.
Oh, you thought this wasn't a dad bod? You just got the skinny fat version.
Wow.
Same.
Wow. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Wrong one. That's the one.
There you go.
All right. No, what's crazy is there's a photo of myself and my father on his 40th birthday. Right? So it's him and myself.
Okay.
And he has his dad bod, right? So
right.
I'm
he has
30.
the V2 version. Or the V2.
What do you mean V2?
There's different versions of the dad bod, right? Like you have the skinny fat joint. I have the, is he big or is he not?
He's like me, but without the muscle. No. No, what it is so I have a photo of me standing next to him. So I'm 37, right? I'm pushing 40. So my goal is if I can look and be better than my dad at that photo, then I can look at that photo and be like, I did something good with my life.
This guy's out here competing with everybody.
Hey, listen, what are you going to do? I'm a competitive person. All right. Hashtag accomplishments.
Bet.
All right.
But yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here again.
Yeah.
We have a really, really special guest here today. Really excited to introduce him to the pod.
Yeah, we are definitely
excited.
You guys are in
for a treat,
person.
For sure.
All right. This guy's a riot.
Literally.
Some of you guys might know this person. He is
completely on brand too, by the way. He's got a show. I'm not gonna give up his name, man. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but it's called Running Late with. And we are running late today. It's completely on brand. Yo.
All right.
This guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce Cab Washington. Welcome.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I don't know how I feel right now. The whole intro was about dad bods, and I'm just here looking at myself if you have a dad bod, then I'm just like the fattest in the room by far.
I mean, listen, I probably have a Peloton somewhere in this house.
Bro.
We can make something happen. You know what I mean?
I'll be right back. All right. I'm gonna go.
We're gonna make this whole show about like a workout podcast.
It was a pandemic. Let me just catch up. All right.
Whole pandemic.
It was a whole year and a half. Man.
Yeah, man. And you're approaching that dad bod like range. Now.
Yeah.
Like you had a birthday, right? During the pandemic?
Yeah, it is. Turned 30.
A big one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which birthday? Which birthday?
30.
30. He said it like that. Like, yeah.
He's like 30.
30.
I feel like a lot of people are celebrating their 30th birthday when they're 31 because of
200%. Y'all better come.
Like last year doesn't count.
Yeah, last year doesn't count. So they're like,
count. Like,
31 is the new 30.
Right.
I think 100%. Yeah.
Right.
People celebrated 30 like they had to reclaim their time. Like we all thought we was just gonna have a pandemic ruin my birthday. 31's about to be, y'all better yacht party, all right?
Yeah.
In 21 degrees, y'all better come out.
If we're invited, we're out there, dad bods and everything. We
didn't have to bring that back up, man. There we go.
It's like, why do you got a hoodie on in the middle of the summer? It's not that cold in
For
here.
real though,
yo, cover up my dad bod, dog. Like, let me.
I got a hoodie on.
I got good air conditioning in my crib. Okay.
Did you bring it here? Did you bring it here?
Yeah.
I didn't. That's right. I'm already sweating. Damn, you're right.
Yeah,
this is the dad bod in me, right?
Yeah, we cooking in here. Okay. We're cooking.
My God.
So I want you to give the audience
my bad. A little intro. Yeah, my bad.
Introduction about yourself so everybody knows who you are. Besides the dad bod, that's the co-brand. That's not the main brand.
Oh my God, I didn't think about how hot it was until I just thought about it. But yeah, guys, how you doing? Cap Washington here. Comic, producer, actor, entrepreneur, sayer of words, asker of questions. Yeah.
He slices, he dices.
It's like I'm late as shit to everything too. That's no shortage of that. And appetite for forever. He tried to give me like 3 wings. I tried to be modest with my dad bod and be like, you know what? I'm good.
I don't want to eat.
Bro, Cap came in here hiding with the sweatshirt on. It's I don't want them to know. Like, I'm the youngest one here. I can't think.
Look, let me grow. Let me grow out of my diet that I currently have of gummy bears for breakfast.
The freedom.
Yeah.
The freedom in that statement. When you get our age, you're gonna realize the freedom in that statement.
This dude gets a bowl of gummy bears, pours milk on it. It's part of a complete
You guys are over here eating chicken in the morning,
right?
I'm like, I gotta have some fruit.
This man ordered me
fall asleep halfway through the interview. That's yeah.
Whereas me, 30, I was like, my body needs sustenance, just anything, whatever you got. Yeah.
So wait, you moved here from the West Coast.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Right? And you came to basically indulge in this New York lifestyle.
Yeah. I chose the smoke. I chose like doing comedy. I chose the smoke. I chose to come here and just borderline kill myself with this regimen of life that y'all call like balance. It's insane. It's just go and then keep going.
Yeah, but you're hustling in California too, though, right?
Yeah. We're grinding, but then you have traffic to slow you down. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a beach to look at and take a break at.
You get to think of jokes in traffic.
No, that's yeah.
You have time to reflect,
right, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I got to work on this dad bod." That's here. You're just like, I guess I just
going back. That's the theme of the whole episode is.
But the thing is, when you're in New York, you don't need to think of jokes. New York is a joke.
200.
Yeah.
You just think about how much you're struggling, and then you just go on stage, and then you're just like. You just let it out. I don't even know if I wrote a joke this whole year and a half.
Right.
I just was like, pandemic sucked.
Yeah.
Shit. Mom getting older sucked. Brother has a daughter who's 2 years old. She's annoying. Like you just think about all the gripes that you have.
Right. Has that always been your motivation as a comedian? Like all the, I guess, maybe crappy stuff going on around you, or is it everything going on around you, or mainly the crappy stuff?
Yeah. Like what kind of got you on the path of, comedy? Tell us a little bit more about your background and how you kind of ended up where you're at now.
Yeah. So it's a faceted thing. So my background's in journalism, and in journalism you kind of always have this thing of observing things and asking questions and digesting them and sharing them with an audience. And so that was like my introduction. My inspiration was Stephen A. Smith. If y'all know him, I don't know if y'all know him.
Stephen A.
Stephen A.
Wow.
You don't know
Stephen A.
How do we not know?
Stephen A. is inspiring the youth. Somebody tag him. Let him know. He's inspiring the 30 and unders.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, but so he was a columnist in Philadelphia growing up.
Kwame, what up?
Yo, Kwame Brown, get him on the show. Kwame, I want you on. Yo, hit me up, dog. Follow me on Instagram. Kwame, you're actually the real MVP. But
That's facts, though. That's facts.
I didn't even know he sounded so country, yo.
I didn't know he was that confident.
Yo, 100.
Show me that.
Oh my god, yeah. Get small hand nigga, but sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but anyway, I love that thing. Just just unload a clip.
We got other ones in there too. That's later, coming later.
Yo, it's so pain, right? But yeah, I just want to be funny and black, man, and that's what I loved about, but I also love sports. You know, growing up in Philly, you're either a rapper or a hooper. You know, yeah. So then it was just like, you know, getting to LA and then taking that leap, like undoing those kind of like those voices in your head that said you can't go up there and be who you want to be. You know, your family says, "Yo, get a real job. You know, be successful."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you just finish
You just
peeing?
dropped it real
No,
low.
no, you know what it is? Because you know, does your family like have any like cultural ties that are like they don't want their kid to be like anything than a doctor? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like being at the bottom of the totem pole
What do you
of
mean?
any demographic in America, right? They want their kid to be as successful as possible based on the information that they know.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, based on the information I know is that lawyers, doctors, and you know, lawyers and doctors, I think there's only two professions in America, like, are successful. So do that, and that'll change all the hardship that I had to go through.
Right.
You know,
Really?
as your parent.
I would argue that it's not even as successful as possible. It's more successful than the norm, right? Or the average. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
200.
And we think that doctors they're more successful than the average us.
Right.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
So
We want you to start your bank account off at like $500K. Like that's where.
well, you're starting it off at like negative 500.
Right. That part. Right.
But
And also hate your life too. You know what I mean? Like.
But
No,
family's gonna look. We're gonna look at you and go, "Yeah, he made it."
My son's a doctor.
made
My
it.
son's, you know, he's not telling jokes.
Right. Yo, my son's a joke. He's a joke.
He's
that-
not
but is
telling
that- but-
jokes.
Does your family wait?
Yo, that was good. That was good.
Wait, does your family like? Are they more accepting now? Have you convinced them that like you're doing the right thing?
Right. So it's like, here's the thing: is you can't really tell them about it. You just have to show them. You know, and with the comedy stuff, it's. You know, I just hosted a show in Philly, got a good bankroll, and I'm only a couple years in. I'm only 3 years in. And journalism was never really lucrative either. So, it's just showing them that, like, you know, I'm doing tours. I'm kind of living in New York. I'm making that sacrifice financially for the end goal that is going to be way happier than my mom ever was being a nurse. You know,
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, I hope. You know what I mean? I hope we're sitting down here 5 years from now. And you're like, we're back. We got Cab back, man. Just finished up as a 1 hour special. You know, instead of coming in here with a H&M hoodie on, sweating my balls off.
You can't see it, but Cab's eyes are sweating. Like the glasses are sweating on the inside because he has a sweatshirt on. Like
his eyes are doing Tybo right now. Yo,
It's hot in here.
wait. So, like, if you come back and you're a star, you're doing your thing, you're on shows.
Not if, when.
Yes, when that happens,
My man, yeah.
you're gonna come back here with your mom.
Are you gonna bring her?
I was always proud of my boy.
Yeah.
He done the family right. I don't know if that's how your parents.
Yeah, that's
speak, but
That was
how,
real.
That's every black Southern family. I was from Philly. She sounds way different.
I don't know
Just
why
from
that
Haiti. Just
You know
from
what I'm
Haiti.
saying?
He's from Haiti.
Yeah. I'm pushing my heritage onto you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
legit. Yeah.
Bro, it's already hot in here, bro. Relax.
I have that effect on people.
But yeah, man.
My Southern Belle son. We made it out of slavery. No. No, but it's gonna happen. Like, I mean, I every fiber of my body believes in it. Living on couches, seeing everyone post on LinkedIn and be like, just got my new, CEO position, just got my senior this account position or whatever. Seeing all that, like I made it through all that, to still sit here in front of you. And
when you say you made it through all that, what do you mean?
Like the mental hardship of like comparison and seeing everyone, in Punta Cana and, just taking a vacation, and me like, I went to Philly and did this like show for 5 people and like didn't end up with any money, but I know the bigger goal is bigger than where I'm at right now.
But the people that you're seeing online that are living a certain life, are they people
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you're comparing yourself to them because what, you went to school with them or
Oh, they're the ones who listen to their parents. Yeah. Oh yeah, nah, I see them too sometimes. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, them people. Yeah.
Them people.
Got it.
But I mean, listen, if you have a vision, like oftentimes the vision is bigger than the situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I value the fact that you grabbed it by the horns for, the most cliche of words.
Yeah.
And did your thing. I like that.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with my family. Trust me, they talk a lot of crap about some of the decisions I made when it comes to schooling and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
love talking shit, right?
Oh man.
My dad called me an idiot one time because I dropped out of architecture school. He was like, he said it in Creole. I don't know if you guys know.
So it was aggressive.
It was aggressive.
It sounded way more turbulent. Yeah.
But then
smooth, but a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, but they don't know. They don't know like what it's like to succeed in unconventional ways. What? No, if you're trying to speak French, you got to act like you're spitting and looking below people. Anyway, we're not gonna.
You're just sit on your knees and he's just spitting on your face.
So tell me a little bit about like, did you have any like thing in your history that was like a triggering point for you that was like very pivoting and how you transitioned into your life right now?
I think those things happen a lot, as far as what got me, like, what was like the feather that, or the straw that broke the camel's back for me. It was, I was working at this job at UCLA. I was working in residential life. Journalism was kind of something that I had been living in and doing, but not really, I didn't have the same passion for it that I once did as a kid. And then my contract didn't get renewed and I didn't have a place to live. And I was just like, this is the perfect time to become a comedian. This is amazing. Really? Yeah. Ironically.
So when you feel like I
was 26, yeah.
Like, what would you consider like a rock bottom?
200%.
Really?
But the rock bottom can be liberating though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it can be that thing that you needed, that you're just like looking at your boss and you're mad at him, but you're like, bro, if you wouldn't have fired me or like not renewed my contract, I wouldn't be, reaping the benefit of my life right now because,
No, I get that.
Like you need that wake up call sometimes.
And you don't realize it in the moment. In the moment, it feels like really limited options.
Right.
You're right. When you hit that rock bottom level where it's just like, I'm either going to knock this dude out right now.
No,
or comedy.
Right.
Right.
Or like, let's turn this setback into a setup for a comeback,
Right. There we go. I love that.
So did you grow up around anybody that took a different route when they hit rock bottom and you compared yourself to what you could have ended up doing?
That's a great question. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. I can think of friends who hit setbacks and then they go for a stable life. Like they hit a setback and they're like,
dream.
Right. That are like, you know what? I'm gonna go get this like office job instead of like, and it just abandoned my entrepreneurial thing that I thought about.
Oh, the road was too rough for them being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that will ever like happen to you?
I don't think so.
Why? I mean, you don't know until you get there.
That's true. So I can't forecast the future.
Right.
I think it's my second job. I do it all the time.
Right.
There's a lady here the other day.
Haitian voodoo.
Damn, I'm afraid to ask you. I feel like you know something that I don't. You're just like, did you not think about it yet? You should, because it's coming. No, but so my dad was an entrepreneur and he worked in a restaurant business, and like, so I grew up around like just get it out the mud and keep going.
Right.
Like, so I don't know if that's a detriment to me just to keep going after what I want, you know. But so I don't know. I think today I can say I feel good about where I'm going, but you know, I could have a kid or I could have a life-changing experience on stage, you know, and it could change.
Who just has a random kid? You plan for it? No, that's not how kids have it.
How many kids? Do you have any kids?
Nah.
Nah. Did you know that you know of, right?
Let me check. Today's what? Sunday? No, I definitely don't have kids.
2021.
He's like, what did I do last night? Yeah.
You brought up an interesting point about like getting to that juncture, right, where you're almost at rock bottom, where you start actually assessing and being more critical of what you want the future to look like. Right. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like when people get to that moment, and maybe this is just for people who are creative like you start to pick apart the things that are actually kind of hilarious in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, with that being said, do you feel like when anybody gets to that point, if you're able to extract all of that shit, that stuff that happens, right? Like, who could anybody kind of get into comedy? And I'm not saying be good at comedy. I'm saying just get into it, right? Because like funny things happen to all of us, right? But it's just about how you kind of frame it and what you do with it, right. So I'm interested to hear about like what, like when you got to that point, that transition that happened, what made you say, yo, comedy?
So this is the thing for me. I don't think it was like, damn, I just had a thought about everything that's happened to me that's been funny that I'm just like, that I've been waiting off on to share. I think for me, it was like I had always been like a beast waiting to unleash, but I just needed that right or wrong thing.
The fuel for the car. Right?
Exactly.
Or the engine for the car.
And I think it's like everyone gets it messed up where they value or they look too much into genius and not audacity. And I think for me, I needed that audacity to be like, I'm going to be a comic in LA. And I don't really have a lot of like, I'm not going to follow this other narrative that people might think is cool for me or project onto me. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And that's really what being a creative is having the audacity to say, hey, this art that I'm putting out is fucking dope. You know? And these things that I'm talking about, because not all comics are going to talk about experiences that they had or trauma. Like a comic the other day talked about, yo, it would be crazy if you dated a crossing guard.
What?
Right?
I need more of this. Go.
Like, yo, a comic did a whole, it was like 10 minutes about, imagine being on Hinge and like you go on a date and a girl's like, yo, I'm a crossing guard. Like how fucking funny would that be also? Like if you're like, yo, you work in construction management, forgot what you do. I'm a comic. And she's like, I'm a crossing guard. Like, yo, he just thinks that's interesting. Yeah. And that's something that he loves to talk about and just made it into a bit.
Means you know exactly when she wakes up in the morning.
Right.
If she a lot of information.
If she didn't call you back, you're like, school's not out. Why are you not calling me back?
Right.
You want to talk about audacity? Like if you put I'm a crossing guard on your profile, I would have to mess with that. Like that's like a next level of confidence. You clearly have stories.
Are there bad crossing guards?
No.
Are there crossing guards that are bad?
I don't have that one yet. Bad, you're not. No, but they're also older women, right? So sometimes,
okay, that's a different dating app.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? If you're a crossing guard, you're not on Hinge. You're not on Hinge.
Wow, that's wild. So I've actually never been on Hinge, right? But isn't that the one where your friends are recommending you to their network? So you're saying that people they're not going to recommend a crossing guard to their other friends?
Most crossing guards are like
no. Hinge.
Wait, isn't Hinge? Is that a stereotype? What?
It's not.
So no. So Hinge, there are dating.
Many hot 26-year-olds on. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think it depends on what city you go to, right? Like,
see how thought provoking. So here we go, comedy, right? See how thought provoking that is. Yeah. Like y'all is really sitting there like, yo, that's right. Yo, crossing guards. Crossing guards really don't. And that's the thing about comics, it's being interesting.
Right.
Yeah, you find the you know who was really good at doing that? Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yo.
He'll take simple moments in life.
He's a master, yeah.
And make it everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Dave too. Dave amazing at that.
Ooh, Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, of course, Dave.
He said Dave who? Love that.
What?
He's like, who's Dave?
Is it Attell or
Dave
Oh,
is
Dave
like,
was great too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know which Dave. There's a lot of Daves.
certain people own the first
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
Like,
no one-
if I say, yo, Mike,
Yeah.
who'd you think
X.
of?
Or if you say Dave, then usually it's gonna be Chappelle. If you say Attell, then it's Dave Attell.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get like
Okay.
relegated to your last name when a G
good
comes
sir.
in. When a GOAT comes in and takes the first name, like anybody in the NBA.
Yeah, it's like calling
his
LeBron
name.
James. Like
the next
James
LeBron
is so good. It's like, who's James? Like, who's this James guy? That's the greatest of all.
So I can't use the word Jeff. Is it gonna be Jeff Foxworthy? That's the real Jeff.
I
think yeah.
I didn't. Jeff Foxworthy. He didn't take that name.
Who's Jeff? Who's Jeff in the industry?
Bezos.
When I just hear the name Jeff, when I hear the name Jeff,
I feel like we're playing Pictionary at this point.
I'm thinking of Jeff Bezos, 100%.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a billionaire, so I can't own my own name.
I was thinking of J. Dot. I actually was. Yeah, I was thinking of. Yeah.
Wait, so we mentioned dating. What's it like dating as a comedian? Because I know that life.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
That
too.
life is just it's crazy in itself, and try to bring in another person. What is that?
Right. So, and that's another like creative question, like think of the life of a creative. And I think it's for me, it's been tumultuous because so much of the beginning stages of a comic is like just getting a rhythm down and just going to shows every night and just feeling like you got to have it right now.
Yep,
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So as I've grown, I've just been like, yo, I'm missing out on some opportunities and like of being with great women that I'm like, I'm busy right now. I'm really focusing on my grind. But like more recently, I've been like, yo, if I'm not opposed to the meeting the right one, but I'm also like really locked into my thing. But if she's down to like go through the bumps and bruises with me and like really accommodate this lifestyle, then like I'd be open to it. But I'm also like, but to answer your question in short, it's just tumultuous. My schedule's out of pocket. It's the worst, yo. Like I have no nights off. Like taking a night off is like taking off a day of work. You know what I mean?
Got it.
And then so then having to say that to someone.
So that crossing guard schedule would actually work well.
Yeah.
That's why it hit home for me. I was like, you know what? I need to get a crossing guard.
Right.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah, but they're at work when you're getting off of work.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, they will be right there. Like, yeah. But she's older. She's more mature.
She's more mature.
She's more mature. You know, so she could get it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she'll go to bed right when I'm going to shows. That'll be amazing. Yeah, she goes to bed at 7.
Perfect, yeah.
She has to wake up at like 3, whatever.
Yeah, but she's going to work when you're coming home.
Right. So we'll like have sex and then
It's done.
she'll go
Have
to
sex when she's gonna help you cross the street when you're coming home from work.
No, have sex right when she's working. Right when she's waking up to go to
You see
work.
her on the way home. He's got
There's my husband. Look at him. He's so funny. Look at him.
But when you say like you're looking for someone that will like be supportive of that lifestyle, like wouldn't that also take an effort for you to seek that person in the first place?
And wouldn't it be easier to just like date somebody in the space? Or
In the
is that,
space,
like,
yeah. I think it's like, cause I'm like a slow burn when it comes to like romance, right? Like I invest a lot of trust over time. Like,
Okay.
so for me, I think it would need to be a friendship first, and which I might find that in the comedy community. Like it would make sense to date someone who has the same schedule as me. But then the thing is, things don't go right. Then you know it could blow up in your face. You know, it's like dating a coworker. You know, you take a gamble when you do that, right?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of different in the creative space, though, right? Like,
yeah,
it's more less about like them understanding your schedule and more about them understanding what you said before. Like, I'm fully in on this. Like, we're both probably involved or invested in this on a level that people on the outside can't really understand.
200.
You know what I mean?
200.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
You tell me.
No, I think absolutely, and I think being with a comedian would like free me up mentally because we're on the same type time, you know.
Same page. All the
But
way,
would you?
Right,
would you
but then
guys-
I think there's also an ego trip to that too, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like then
guys
you.
are fighting
like
for the same
competitive.
stage.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
I mean,
But I've also never dated a comedian, you know. So, but I don't know. I think I still need to grow more to understand what compatibility and what romance would look like for me at this point. You know,
have you had that before?
nah, I know. No, not since college. When I was in college, I mean, I don't even know if that counts anymore. If it's outdated, I was a different person. I understood myself differently.
You're completely different person, but it's still relevant to you.
Yeah,
right. So it's relevant.
200%. And I think I dated this lady long distance. She went to school in Atlanta. I went to school in Philly. We met. We had known each other for years. Like we had known each other since I was like 14. We started dating when I was like 18. Dated for like 2 years, and then sophomore year I wanted to go crazy, and then we couldn't rekindle the flame.
You wanted to go crazy. I like the vagueness.
Yeah. I wanted to have a hot boy year, hot boy sophomore year, a hot boy. I don't even know if that makes sense. But
wait, there's hot girl summer.
A whole year, yeah.
And then there's F boy summer.
F boy summer. Yeah. It was F boy college. That's what I wanted to experience.
Oh wow, it wasn't even just a year. It was the rest of the
No, it was a year. It was a year. But then in a year, it's just like no one's waiting around for you.
It's true, especially not at that age.
Yeah, but also I didn't want her to. Like she's great and successful and doing her thing, and I would hate to.
Oh, you're peeping the profile still.
Oh, you're
hovering. Oh, I see.
She's doing great. She looks good in red. Good. What?
Her ex was whatever. But
her new boyfriend's got a promotion now. Right. I mean, that's cool. That's great.
I'm sexier than her ex, but you know
what I'm saying?
There you go. That's what matters.
In the sweatshirt.
Winning.
I hate it.
Winning.
Oh my god, we gotta shoot this again. I'm wearing a tank top and I'm gonna wear a crop top with my gut out, just like yes, truly.
I love it.
So TBD, we'll see. But no, honestly, because I value, I love my family. I don't know if you look at my profile, I believe in the craft, and then I love family over everything. I grew up in a very close-knit family, and my blessed daughter and my mom. Part of me moving to New York was to be closer to my family in Philadelphia.
Love it.
And so, but I don't want those goals to be a competition with each other my whole life. I want them to collaborate with each other. So, and I think that would just take time,
You mentioned
and effort.
You mentioned your mother, but I don't hear much about your father.
Yeah. So my dad passed away when I was young. He passed away when I was 11. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he was a huge influence on my life. I get all my grind from him. I get this amazing beard from him.
Beard?
That beard is fire, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a little jealous. Mine's a little...
Beard club.
It's the only flex I got. Y'all got the bodies, I got the beard. You know what I mean? Let me have something, y'all. Shit.
Bro, I'll trade that. Come on, man.
Together we make a complete person. Apart, keep an eye on us.
A complete person, literally. I got the bank accounts. I got some jokes. Wow. So
your pop.
Yeah, we got a 4 gunshot list. We got a couple others on there we want to feature.
We need to go back to the gun store and get some more guns, some more ammunition. Empty a clip. But yeah, so my dad was a huge influence on my life. Worked in a restaurant since I was 7. He taught me everything I know as far as work ethic, as far as, just winning your race. And so much of comedy is getting out of your mind of comparison and really just understanding that your lane is the most important to you in your journey. So, but no, he is the reason why I believe what I can do.
What do you mean? Like
why I can be a successful comedian, being one of the best in the game, doing a 1-hour special, selling out arenas. Yeah.
Through his example.
Yes.
In your life, yeah.
Through his example, yeah.
But he passed away, you were how old?
I was 11.
And you carried that.
Mm-hmm.
Even till now, who he was as a person.
I went to the same college he went to. He's in the record books for starting, Black Student Union, being an activist.
Oh, wow.
His funeral was like if JFK died,
really,
and it wasn't even as much as his reputation, but how much he gave to people and his generosity and his selflessness. I remember as a kid, there was a dispute on the street. Dudes were about to fight. Mm-hmm. He walks up there with his satchel, and his skinny calves, and he goes up there. He's an older dad, and just walks up to them and is like, "Yo, what's going on, man? My mom's freaking the fuck out." You know what I mean? I'm a kid. I'm like, Dad's about to get washed.
This is Philly, by the way.
Yeah, this is Philly. Dad's about to get washed by this dude. But he just diffuses this as if he that audacity, but also that logic and that practicality that I have to make this change. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that is through comedy how I see it. It's I have to make this change and bridge this gap between demographics, but also be courageous and have faith. And he embodied all those things And really cemented them into me at a young age, you know. And
because that's early for you to
Yeah.
still remember
super early,
that type of example.
Yeah.
Because I imagine like after he passed away, a lot was left up to your mom.
Yeah, that's
Right?
that's great. Yeah,
and also to you.
So true.
You step into that. You and you said you have a brother.
my
right?
brother. Yeah, my brother.
You both have to step into that role to kind of help your mom in a sense, right? Like take some of the burden off of her shoulders.
That's it.
And you said you
Absolutely.
guys had a restaurant, or your father started a successful restaurant,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 2 restaurants. We sold the first one.
Cool. Did you keep the other one going? You guys kept it in the family.
We kept the second one.
Boom, love
My uncle ran it for a number of years. Closed in 2008. Building shut down. It's decayed. We just flipped it. Now the taco place is in the residence. But all my dad's properties we still have. So he left us with a lot. You know.
That's
love that, man.
What I want to like.
And my mom, you know, was the glue to kind of keep it. Yeah.
That's generational wealth right there.
Yeah.
But here's what I picture when you're speaking about this, right?
Yeah.
There's so many. Like, look at how much you're able to do for yourself just by having 11 years of experience with your father, right? And if you compare that to people who's never even met their father,
yeah,
right, or who have poor examples of fathers, even if they are in their lives,
yeah,
you only had 11 years, and it still launched you into becoming the man you are,
right,
in the most positive way,
right.
It could have been way left, could have been way different, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always places where you can improve, but I don't know the history of the communities you grew up in or people that you've met. How do you compare yourself to people who had horrible father experiences in their lives?
Yeah. I think I was unbelievably fortunate.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's why I give a lot of the credit to my mom, you know, because we didn't talk a lot about trauma and stuff because both her parents died when she was young. So, but she just led by example, going to work every day, saying, no, don't take off any days of school. Like even when you're sick or you feel like you're down or you can't make it. Like, but I had a great support system for my family. My brother also, you know, doing this thing. We're just, this is a great question. Sorry. I'm just like trying to like put it all together. I think I was just really fortunate and lucky to really have that foundation from my dad. Cause a lot of first cousins who, you know, made hard and had different experiences, you know, being incarcerated, getting caught up in different things while college educated, but still going down tough paths, you know? And I think part of that is also decisions that you make,
right?
You know, and there are definitely times where like, I thought like I could just get hammered. I could go do drugs and I could go do something else. But like my dad set such a foundation, like, son, you have
like anchored
something special to do. And that if you don't, then you're going to let a lot of people down, you know? And so there's that pressure too, implicitly that I feel.
You still feel that pressure now? Even as an individual who, I mean, you don't have kids, you don't have like any dependents per se. I know you have family,
right?
But like, do you still feel like you're carrying something for them in what you do?
I think absolutely. Sorry, it's such a good question. Thank you, man. Because it's like growing up, it's like, son, this is gonna be yours. I'm working the cash register. I'm 7 years old. I wouldn't have ridden my bike, but he's like, no, get in here, work these hours, packed out on a Saturday night. Angry customers. I'm sitting there trying to figure out this cash register, count the money, get it all popping. But the thing is, my dad also did that when he was young. He collected rent for his grandfather.
Wow.
And he collected rent for the property. He's 7 years old. His grandfather is blind. He helped run the barbershop. Like, so it was this generational thing that was just like, yo, you're next up. When you go to LaSalle, you're going to be president of your fraternity chapter. You're going to be student section editor of your newspaper. Like, so for me, it's like, I felt the pressure, but it was like,
it's just natural. But
it was like, we're supposed to do this.
Exactly. Your dad literally set such an anchor, right?
Yeah.
In your life in terms of what responsibility looks like.
Right.
That it's just
what it sounded like to me is
it's
like,
sad that he's not here,
right,
but the fact that he put that in you,
right,
it makes you have this tenacity that you have. Like,
but also
if he was here or even though he's not here, you're still gonna have that.
But also was dope as hell though. Like he employed people from like West Africa, Ethiopia, right?
Oh.
It was at one point, this was a soul food restaurant. So at one point, he did sponsor, it's my godmother, Kaba Bush. He sponsored her kids. Oh, sorry. My mom said that those kids were her kids.
Okay.
During immigration. So like one of the workers at the restaurant could bring her whole family to the country.
So
it's like my dad was just like
passing it on.
Was just like stressed and doing what he could, but also just laid this foundation of like, do the best you can, but don't forget about how important it is to help everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that.
So when you were talking about like, he helped his grandfather, his father.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's generations of passing the baton.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like that was the rhythm of your family history.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when your dad passed, even before he passed, you probably felt like this was the next stage for you to do the same backwards for your family.
200%.
Right.
But put my own spin on it though.
Outside of your family, right? Like
right.
The theme here is just like paying it forward.
Right.
Setting a good example, being like an upstanding like leader
right.
in your community, right? So like obviously you told us about what the things you've done in college and like, you're obviously really into kind of supporting and uplifting, especially people in our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, how are you paying it forward in your space, right? Like you work in media, you have a great position at a great company. And also you have a lot of, access to important people in the comedy community or that community.
Yeah.
How are you kind of paying it forward with people that are coming up like you were 5-10 years ago?
Right. I mean, it's in every fabric of my body. Like after this, I'm going to send you guys cool ways to diversify your podcast or like in comedy, like the whole show was about highlighting, comics of color and creatives of color. And that's through the graphics, like kind of it's like the do the right thing kind of emblem. It's the Tavis Smiley emblem. It's embodying all that, like booking people of color, booking black and black women and men. And then any comic that comes into the sphere is like, yo, here's a list of shows to produce. If you want to connect with someone in LA, let me know. If you're looking for shows to get on, like hit me up. Like, and me just being readily available for anyone that needs help with anything with what I can help with. And a lot of that, is from my dad, but then also, when you have that in you, then everywhere you go, you kind of attract similar types of people. So even when I got into journalism, Rob Parker, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
He was a guy that helped me get my job at Fox Sports.
Really? Oh, wow.
And all my journalism gigs, and he's a guy that like has helped so many young black journalists. So
Rob
it's like,
doesn't hold back. He doesn't hold back. He's
like, he has some wild
funky
takes, but like will give you the shirt off his back and the card off of his chest to let you get into the conference.
Love that.
Or give you the ticket to front row at the award ceremony. And those are the guys that I've been surrounded with. So for me, it's being a resource, with my creative stuff, but being a resource like physically and whatever I can do, whatever that means. So,
but is that who you are to everyone you meet, or do you just have a select group of people that you exert that energy to?
Honestly, there's a pecking order. It goes black people, and then, sorry, just
keeping a Rob Parker.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like
keeping a Rob Parker.
Sorry, guys, I don't like. I will book white people, white men, but like y'all get on a lot of shows. So I'm gonna go black people first, then people I know, and then everybody else.
Let me ask you a question.
But it's also like I'm not helping them. It's just that like.
No, I know. Yeah. I understand the pecking order, but do you feel as though?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
No. But hear me out. But hear me out. Like, let's take that, right? As it said, right? And I do appreciate the value of helping people that had less opportunities. Do you ever find yourself where you're having to choose between something that you're trying to support versus something that is potentially a better fit for whatever you are trying to do?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. You guys, you really killing it with these questions, bro. I appreciate that. I think I'm just more recently stepping into those hard decisions.
Yeah.
Especially in comedy, because not everyone that you feature for or host for or are friends with necessarily align with your values.
Yeah.
Right.
Or align with things that you want to do, or even align with who you are as an artist. Like some comics, it's like there's synergy. Like you talk about this, I talk about this. You know, you date like this, I date like this. Like you run like this, or you believe in these things, I believe in these things.
Yeah.
And then there's times where you're just like, we're just totally different. You know what I mean? But so your question.
So I'm trying to understand, like, because
are you giving preferential treatment to, if we're gonna keep it straightforward, right? Like very blunt, are you giving preferential treatment to our people, even if somebody else could be a better fit for whatever specific thing that you're doing?
Correct.
You know,
shout out to Rob Parker,
right?
And Stephen A.
You
Smith.
know, I haven't been faced with those type of instances enough to say. I could say I got a lot of DMs from people asking me about shows to get on and people to connect with, and I pretty much do the same thing. I say, hey, here's a list of shows you can get on. Let me know if you need help. You know, here's a list of people you can connect with. What I know about you, I think this will work for you. If you have any more questions, let me know. Am I like bending over backwards to talk to like hiring managers for everybody? No.
Okay.
Like
if
they're
give
like
a little nudge, but you're not necessarily like, if they don't take it to the depth that they should take it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you're not gonna sweat it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Like it'll usually be in waves, right? So it'll be like, first wave is like, send you this. If you have another question or you have a very specific ask, like, yo, this specific booker needs me. I really want to connect with this specific person. Do you know anybody you can? If I can, then I'll do it. You know what I mean? But if I've kind of exhausted, kind of making this favor or fulfilling this favor, then it's like, I kind of been exhausting this opportunity. You know what I mean? Because I've just helped out so many people. You know, so I will say that right now I'm in this place of setting boundaries as far as like how much I am being available to help others.
I got it.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Does that kind of answer your question?
It does. I'm just imagining how exhausting that can be sometimes, because
bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm squinting to my head, because it's like, when you're in an industry where, you know, so much of who you know has an impact of how you succeed, right? You're almost doing this chess game of who you should be keeping in your circle, who you should be interacting with, who you should be, setting the red carpet for,
right?
And also trying to disassociate with things that might affect your brand.
Bro, that is
social chess.
You know, that's wild, because I've never thought about that fear. Like, I never thought about the fear retroactively of like, damn, I gave that person that contact, and look at them 10 years later.
Right.
They're in like a Louis C.K. situation, or they're in like a whatever situation, and now I'm tied to their name. Like I haven't thought about that yet. Like I know there are names that I probably might not help as much.
Okay.
You know, but for the most part, it's like I came into this business to be like a Larry Wilmore, or to be like an Issa Rae, which is carrying others as I climb, you know?
Love that.
Which is like getting it, you know, getting that HBO relationship, or getting that Netflix relationship, or getting that great opportunity, or being that big brand then like be like, yo, MG and Jeff, y'all need to give them a deal. Like they've been killing it. They have over 200 episodes on their podcast now. They need a break here. I've known y'all since 2021. Let's go. Let's hook them up.
But at the very least, it would be a proven concept that it's easy for you to stand behind.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It wouldn't just be like, do this outlandish ass favor.
You're not uplifting people that aren't working.
200%.
Like, if you're not putting in the work, you're not going to get behind it. It has nothing to do with your background, your race, anything like that. It's more about what you can stand behind confidently and say, yo, I attach my name to that confidently.
200%.
Working with Fox, right?
Emphasis on Fox Sports. Okay.
Fox Sports.
So Fox is a different. It is the parent, but it is not the same brand.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's part of the same umbrella.
Yes, but the programming is vastly different.
Understood.
Yeah, like we talked about Sha'Carri Richardson and was like, and had our take on the pro, like her side, not the she shouldn't be smoking weed side. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like we talked about Black Lives Matter and we're all in support of it. We weren't like the Fox and Friends.
No, I'm not even referring to that. I'm not even looking at it from a Fox versus. I'm looking at it just from being in media in general.
Okay, yeah.
Such a big network. Do you feel like there's a lot of your scope that is very political in terms of like just being in media in general.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like it's not really about how good you do as an employee or a function of the network, but it's about how you move chess pieces within your career. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to make friends with this person so I can get more opportunities here in this particular brand of news or whatever it is, or broadcasting. Or is it like, if I work hard, someone will notice me?
Bro, I think this is a fundamental thing that we all got messed up as kids, is that like it's all politics. It's all
who you know,
relationships. Like I hate even using that word now, who you know. It's just like that should just be the thing that isn't even questioned anymore.
Yeah.
Like people love working with who they like to work with.
Yeah.
More than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, come with the genius and don't like be late if I vouch for you. Like don't ruin this opportunity that'll backfire on my name. But like we see it all the time when CEO of the company hires their nephew or hires their friend's nephew, or you know what I mean? So with media, it's the same thing. It's all one fraternity.
It's life. It's literally just a life thing.
That's wild. Yeah. I can't be in that world. I feel like I'm already in that world, even though I'm in like.
You don't even think it, bro. You're likable as hell.
Yeah.
What do you don't think part of that? You're attractive and likable. You don't think we're part of that? Like you're crazy.
Yeah, but here's the deal, right?
If you think your hard work alone.
No.
Bro, if you were showing up to work like no, like, and you couldn't have a conversation.
Dirty clothes, stankin', but amazing at your job.
No,
you'd be overlooked for a lot of opportunities.
You know what? He did crunch the numbers last week. Can't stand sitting next to him, but you know what? He's the one.
I'm not saying that. Trust me. Especially in my line of work, there's a lot of politics in it as well. But like, I'm only looking at it from, the lens of where I work and what I do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I'm not in media, so I don't know the magnitude to which that occurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like in my line of work, there has to be a balance. Like you have to be, like, good at what you do to some degree, because if you do the wrong thing, sometimes people can die.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying? Things like that happen.
Right,
or you could cost somebody millions of dollars by just adding a zero next to the wrong thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, look at the building that collapsed in Miami.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, the stakes are way different.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now there are politics involved, obviously, but there has to be a bigger blend of politics and skill. But in media, where a lot of things are more subjective, right? People that come on and do whatever they do based on who they know, it might reflect their relationship more than the skill that they might possess.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
The gradient.
That's really a fascinating
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, I think that almost falls in line with like the medical field. It's like if you're just not certified, we can't even fudge this opportunity for you. Like we can't even broach the opportunity of giving it to you. So I think in media there's a lot less to be good, I guess, or great, but usually the conversation starts with you're killing it though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like you're doing great at your job.
Okay.
Like, and then from there it's like we have a relationship.
So you gotta show that you can do the work.
Yes.
And then afterwards it's downhill with the relationship.
Yeah. At the word, closing the deal is in the relationship. But I will say this, like, and I don't know if I'm like demystifying the game of media, but like I don't think it's that hard to really get, especially with where media is at. Mm-hmm. Like your podcast could blow up and then you could be instantly qualified to do what I do right now.
I see what you're saying.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Whereas
almost like the athletes stepping into a lot of broadcasting jobs.
Yeah.
That people who go to school bust their ass to it.
That's crazy when you think about it.
That's actually really crazy.
Like somebody goes to school for years for broadcasting, media, so on and so forth, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna, work for these news networks. I'm gonna work my butt off." And then somebody who just retired from playing football and they have the job you want.
Right. Yeah.
Just for that.
But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, like, although they didn't go to school for this specific avenue or part of, and we'll keep it related to sports, right? They have a deeper understanding of what's going on, like in the field of play, right? So does it translate into kind of discussion, right? Like,
right. And
it can, right? Depends on the individual, right? Like in some cases, I would argue that some of these people are more qualified to talk about sports than the people who went to school and didn't.
Sure, but we're only talking
to you, Skip.
We're talking. I'm getting fired. We're talking.
You went on that podcast and let me get talk to fame like that guy. Yeah.
We're talking strictly sports right now, but I'm looking at it in general, right? When it comes to media, like Drake right now could say, "Hey, I'll be the news anchor for NBC."
No.
I think he could.
I don't think so. I don't agree.
If Trump can be president
to talk about the news,
just based
to talk about the news,
to lead a country, like so, what do we talk? Bottom line is
right, but it's different.
Bottom line is
you don't need technical skills.
So here we go
to run for president, to be a politician, to sit on the news. Go ahead. You're in it, so you know better than we do. Go ahead.
And to use a point that you're talking about, which is like, how does it fit in all aspects? Transferable skills is the new thing now.
Right.
Like, you can major in English, and if you have transferable skills in some way, maybe you worked for a nonprofit, or maybe you worked in this job or this sector, those transferable skills that you had can then get you an accounting job or get you a job at a law firm. So with Skip or whatever, or not Skip, but Drake has talked to millions of people.
Yes.
Multiple nights.
Yes.
Days of more than any politician ever had. Has commanded a fan base larger than any other politician. He doesn't know the corruption probably, or the policies, or the things that people went to school with or worked around. Right.
I'm not arguing can he run for president.
No.
Everything you just said, those are skills that transfer into leadership or like being in front, right?
Yeah.
No, but even
being in the news, like, and you know this, right? Like, like obviously my significant other's in that space. To sit down in front of a camera, have to like put together packages. That's a whole different skill set than like just being you. Drake is just being him. That definitely transfers better into politics than it does sitting at a desk and being somebody who can deliver a message to the masses.
They've had Shaq talk about baseball. They've had...
No, but he's not good at it though.
That's a great example.
No.
Yeah,
terrible at it.
Even him talking about basketball is not that good. But it rates well.
That's my point. They'll do it not because they're good at the job. It's because ratings, right? Viewership. That's my point. Like I'm not looking for them to be as good as the person who went to school, but what are they considering as effective?
There's a level of nuance involved in this, and I think we need to be a bit more specific, right? So are you talking about Drake being able, you said just go to NBC News.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Because, no.
I'm trying to think of an example of
delivering the news,
yes,
right, to people who are impacted by it directly.
Yes.
It's different than being able to like put Charles Barkley or freaking Shaq to talk about something that's really broad that nobody really cares about. Like deep down, you might love the Red Sox or the Yankees, but at the end of the day, like if I tell you that, Aaron Judge is hitting 300 and he's really hitting 200, I messed that stat up. It doesn't really impact your life.
Yeah.
Like, you don't care.
So
there's no acute like.
So here we go.
It doesn't take a lot of skill to state facts right if you're being prompted to.
I think there's a lot of people out there
that
would be a bit upset about that.
Okay.
So I will say, I will be in between you guys. I will say anybody with the right work ethic and time and proper amount of time. Like I think Drake could be really good at doing news, right? You also, I think he comes from an acting background, been acting since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, so he knows how to, so him being good at the limelight is something that he's been doing since he was a teenager, or even like an adolescent, younger than that. But will he be as like savvy as your girlfriend, as you mentioned? Probably not. Yeah. But I think over time, like some people go to grad school, will go to like Medill, Northwestern, school that I got into, by the way. But didn't go because it cost way too much money.
Go. Yeah, Yo, I thought we said the gunshots. That was a clap moment.
So someone could do that, go for a year,
right?
Get that paid fellowship to report in South Africa. Right. Mind you, this person could have came from majoring in English, something like that, or majoring in history, majoring in poli-sci or something random, frivolous, right? Not frivolous, but just arbitrary. And then done that 1 year in grad school, and then killed it in that one market in Toledo, broke a national story, and then slowly rise up the ranks. Like Taylor Rooks, I don't know if you know her, I do. Or Malika Andrews. Like they're young, they're like sub 25, sub 26, and just are on primetime television, you know? Right. And you see that now more than ever.
They have a lot of those other intangibles, though, that you were talking about before that really do matter.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of how people are like perceiving you. Yeah. The audience is perceiving you, right? So that's where you're actually right. Yeah. Because Drake has the clout. But I'm talking about if you take back the fame, right? Like let's rip that off and just say Drake as an individual.
No, I don't care about him as an individual.
Right.
I'm talking about the audience that he would bring, as well as just the sheer amount of resources he has to get an audience as a person. Just him walking down the street with a NBC shirt on.
God, which are two different things.
Yeah. Exactly.
That by itself is just brand alignment. But you mentioned something that I kind of I'm curious about. So did you go to school for broadcasting?
Yeah, for journalism and print.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are in a position that in my opinion, I don't know if this is the case or not, that a lot of people who graduate with broadcasting never even really get a chance to do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So my question to you is like, how do you feel about the people who get degrees in certain, even if it's a well-known industry, but it's an industry where so few will really get a chance to really do well in,
right? And
then pay an exorbitant amount of money to go to school, and come out struggling financially.
Bro, I'm the biggest like critic of that.
Okay, so you made a mention. Okay, you graduated from school where you learned broadcasting, journalism, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though there's a population of people who go into these degrees or go into education, learning about certain things that is very difficult to get into, like journalism? Like you can get into journalism, but the level of success that one might have could be very limited compared to the amount of money they spend to go to school.
Yeah.
To learn journalism. But you're in Fox, so you have a different
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports.
Different.
Okay. How do you feel about those who do get into that field, or at least when they're going to school, but they have a slim chance of being where you are,
right? And
spending a lot of money doing it at the same time and coming out broke with that.
Once again, so you might need to repeat that question a couple more times because I have a packed answer here. So one is I knew that going in, like that a lot of people would not continue the race. You know what I mean? And that's again goes back to my dad. It goes back to Stephen A. Smith. Like a lot of these guys drop out of the race, and that happens in any profession, right? Is everyone that hears with me today at this first 101 journalism 101 class is not going to be with me at the end at the top. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know, this journey weeds out the people who don't want to be there. You know,
right. Wow.
Or like also life things happen too. You know, like I was privileged enough to be, kind of ignorant and audacious and crazy to be like, let's continue to do this. But also like I didn't have like a death in my family that made me have to course correct my life. And I mean, I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I also didn't lose my mom, which I would have like, maybe I gotta like, work at investment banking or something like that. Maybe I gotta make this money back, and support all these endeavors that I have. So that's one, right? So I get that. It's hard to do. Like some people, even at the journalism conferences, like where I met Charlie, are there for that 1 year and then you never see them again. Like Charlie might not work in journalism after 5 years. And I get it. Like it's hard to do, The second thing is education, institutional education is such a sham. I think it's much more of a company than it is a think tank. And I know that firsthand from working in higher ed.
Right.
It's literally this capitalistic tool that makes you buy in. Because even just talking to my mom, went to nursing school for $5,000, ended up, making over 6 figures, working in pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just has a bachelor's degree.
Right.
You know how long it would take me to make 6 figures out of college? It would take me I would need to go to grad school too. Owe that $100K.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if I were to do this all over again, and if I were to advise anybody in journalism, it would be start your podcast now. Start your podcast at like 16 years old. You're waiting on someone to pick you up, waiting on a network to pick you up. Honestly, buy a cell phone or and just have good audio and be able to
or buy 4 cell phones.
And then put that on TikTok. Talk to your friends about it. Like, you don't need to wait. Like in college or back in the 90s or whatever, you needed to be like, dang, there's only one internet source in the whole city. That's through the local news station. You know what I mean?
We live in a very, open and blessed time in terms of spreading a message. You can do it like that.
But
there's so many different ways.
But that can also be a detriment because there's a saturation of content.
Yes.
So you're competing with not just the major networks, but you're competing with the guy that came up with a new dance. And now he's got 30 million views. You know what I mean? So,
dude, if Shiggy started his own news company right now, Shiggy, or June Elite, who came up with the June Bug.
Do you know? He made the Drake dance. It's just
all those guys, King Karan, all those guys, are getting even Deezus and Mero. That's a really good example. The best, one of the best. But these guys, do you think they came out with Bodega Boys? We're gonna really rise after a couple years. You know what I mean? Right. But that's something that would have never happened 20 years ago.
Exactly.
It couldn't.
Right. There's no outlet for that.
So today also, with schools being so expensive, I would go to JUCO first. There's no when you run your race. Even if you want to take a couple years off from school to really hone in on what you really want to do with your life, do that. Start school at 25, and then because you're going to be locked in when you get to school. You're not going to be worried about catching ass or doing drugs. You're just going to be locked in. You don't already live life.
That's a hard thing to ask somebody to do that doesn't even know what the end really looks like for them.
And life is also a mystery.
Yeah.
So once again, I have no condemnation for the people who got into broadcast and then aren't using it anymore.
Those people, if you add them to the aggregate of just people who ultimately go to school for any degree, without a real knowledge of what it's like to be in that field, or if they want to be in that field, the pressure that they have, not just from family, themselves, or just society. The next step is always go to school. I'm watching this documentary about money right now. It's called Money Explained or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were talking about student loans and such. They just like you said, it's like a commercialized business proposition for students. It's okay, when you're done with, before you even finish high school, pamphlets are going to your house.
Right.
For you to go spend all this money. So I'm glad to hear your perspective. I'm also very glad to see you as a young brother who actually made it in that field and are able to give an example from real life experiences.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Sure, man.
I appreciate that.
This conversation has been very
I can't say enough how grateful we are to have had you on today.
Yeah, dog, you guys are great. Yo.
Amazing.
This is about to be the thing, man.
I don't want you to leave without telling the audience where they can find you, what you're working on right now. I know you got some really cool projects in the works.
Yeah.
Definitely drop.
Well, right now you can find me for the rest of the evening hanging out at Jeff D's crib. He's making up the best wings I ever had. So that's where I'm at immediately. But in the future, you can catch me in New York. I've been here for the past year and a half. You catch me at shows all over the place. Follow me on Instagram at CAB _Washington like the president. And then follow me on Twitter at CAB. Capital W on the Washington on Twitter.
Sure.
And then follow First Things First. We're there Monday through Friday, 7:30 bright and early. Nick Wright, Kevin Wilds, Brandon Marshall. And
you got any shows coming up that we could catch you maybe on stage or?
Yeah. I'm at shows. You want to go to a show tonight? I don't know. I'm at shows all the time, man. What I'm booked on right now. I kind of took a break from comedy for 2 weeks and then had shows all this weekend. But honestly, just follow me on Instagram. I post there all the time. Perfect. It'll be the easiest thing to do because by the time this thing drops, it'll be outdated. You can cut that part.
I was like, all right. Oh, fuck you, Skip. Since we're cutting that part anyway.
No. But follow me on Instagram. You'll see all my shows. I post about them all the time.
Mike, give everybody your handles.
Yeah, man. So you guys can find me on all social media at Michaelangelo.Garland. Yeah, thank you for stopping by today. Like I said, man.
Yeah, man, it's great.
It was great, for sure.
And you guys can find me at j.damisse. That's j.damisse. That's for IG, as well as Clubhouse. For Twitter, it's j_Damisse, j_DAMISSE. And please follow the Introspect Room. It's at the Introspect Room. Everything, even Gmail. You guys can email us.
Sure.
Can I get one more gunshot before?
Gunshot.
Oh yeah, we gotta hit the gunshot.
One I was trying to use. I was waiting for you to say something real ratchet.
Oh damn, blew it up. Wow. That's the Breakfast Club right there. That's when I'm getting canceled. That's the one. That's that when that line comes out.
I just got canceled.
Right.
Hey man, thank you guys for stopping by to the Introspect Room. We appreciate you.
Until next time, folks. Later.